If you're just watching, you don't know because it's so convincing. And it was right after the Grammys happened. So like, she had it ready. And it was so impressive. She already had a couple million views on it. What's up, everybody? I'm Jericho, and this is Zap. We are the now 6-time international award-winning pop hip-hop music duo Bandit Future. We make clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that is uniquely Californian. And right now, in this moment, you are tuned into the Life's a Circus podcast. We talk about things that are funny, interesting, and just straight ridiculous. So before we get into this thing right now, do us a big favor. The YouTube algorithm needs to be stimulated. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people that have been fooled by misinformation on the internet. Okay. I'm one of those people. And what I want to do is tell you something that happened to me recently, because I think it's actually kind of an interesting idea, right? It's information's out there. We have access to all this information, and nobody's verifying whether it's right or not. They're just going with whatever they see and sharing it to everybody. So I, at the very least, make sure to check facts before I tell people about them. That's not true. Actually, I'm very guilty of sometimes just sharing things. Like, oh, I found out this out, so I'm gonna tell everybody about it. And then later I go like, hey, remember that thing I told you? Yeah, that wasn't true. But I actually got fooled yesterday. And this is a different thing. So when people think about information, maybe they think about like a big hoax or something. And there's been a lot of hoaxes since the beginning of, the press, really, that have been kind of great. And I actually have a list of a couple of my favorites. But there is a TikToker named Louisa Melcher. Okay. And she's known for doing what I'm about to tell you. I didn't know that. And so I listened to one of her, basically she's like a vlog thing, and she's just talking about a story, and she's so good at the story that I was all for it. So basically she tells a story about being at the Grammys and being assistant to somebody and basically being fired that night. She goes into detail about it was cold and the singer that was there brought her dogs along, but they didn't let the dogs in. So then she had to stay outside with the dogs, and it was rainy. She's using all this information that's true, right? It was rainy, it was cold. She had to stay outside with the dogs. She took the dogs home. The singer didn't appreciate it, and the singer was mad that she didn't win at the Grammys, and the singer's this, and she didn't name names, but everyone started going like, oh, I think she's talking about so-and-so. So the comments are feeding this thing, and I'm just eating it all up like, wow, this is crazy. How dare this? And then at the very end, I was like looking through more comments, and then people started going, Louisa, you did another one or something like that. I'm like, what? Then I look at her other videos and like, oh, okay, this is kind of her thing that she does, right? But if you're just watching, you don't know because it's so convincing. And it was right after the Grammys happened, so like, she had it ready, and it was so impressive. She already had a couple million views on it. But I guess my first thing is, have you been duped by things you saw on the internet that we were like, wow, that's crazy? And I mean, that doesn't seem like anything. It everything lined up. It seemed like this is a very plausible story, and then it just turned out to be completely false.
I can't think of any specific examples, but like, yeah, of course. Because like you said, it's getting more and more prevalent, I guess, and it's getting used by more and more like news people, like not just randoms on. It's just like I don't know if I was telling you or somebody else, like I see these stories about like again, because like we're into sports and stuff. It's just like so and so is getting traded to whatever, and you see the headline, and the headline makes it seem like somebody got traded, and it was like this big news. But then you click on the headline, and then you see that it's like a mock scenario where like, well, if this person was traded, this is how the deal might go down. And just like, oh man, they got me. Like, so I've definitely clicked on a few of those, but like that stuff happens all the time now.
Sure. Okay. And so I guess what I'm getting at is the idea that anything you read or see can be yeah, you have to do some fact checking. And I think we've kind of gotten past that because our fact checking is the thing that is lying to us now. It's like, oh, we need to see if that's true. We'll go to so and so website, which is also lying, and be like, oh, it's true because we got confirmation, right? And I remember seeing something about, I can't find it right now. It was basically like, even back in the day, TV was, the rule was nothing on TV has to be true. Like that was kind of a written law. Like it can be false. We don't have to tell you that it's wrong either. I know for sure that like political ads don't have to be true, like at all. They can be lies. That's how it's always been. So it's like, wow, how do we know about how, like what is true and what is not? But so what I decided to do was look up some things, and I'm like, I wonder, like what's been said in the past that has fooled a lot of people, and then I had a couple of personal favorites. So I wanted to share them with you, and then maybe if you have any personal like favorite hoaxes, or you can call it a hoax. I don't know what the line between a hoax and misinformation is, but you know, maybe one feeds into the other. So maybe these are some you've never heard about. Okay, so one, I think that not at all, but like in the modern times. Do you remember Lonely Girl 15?
No.
This was like 2006, and it was basically an account by a girl who basically was saying, "Oh, I was born in a cult, and I kind of like have a hidden camera, so I'm kind of gonna release information about the cult to the internet." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, this poor girl," and she's like one of the first viral people in this sense, like 2006. And basically, she was an actress, and she got hired by some agency to make up something that was really interesting for people to watch. And so this went on for about 2 years, and then people were like, wait a minute, you know, like something wasn't adding up. But she got pretty big off of this premise, deliberately making fake news. So, okay.
Fake news.
Fake news. But there have been some things that are just more fun. So in 1998, Burger King decided to put out an ad about a Whopper for left-handed people. And they said there's 32 million left-handed Americans. So the new Whopper, and this is all true, will have the same ingredients as the original, but the left-handed Whopper has all the condiments rotated 180 degrees, thereby redistributing the weight of the sandwich so the bulk of the condiments will skew to the left, reducing the amount of lettuce and other toppings from spilling out to the right side. Now, it was a joke, but that day, like 50,000 people went to Burger King, like, yo, give me that left-handed Whopper, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that great? And then people, it was only because it's like a prank, but then people started protesting, like, well, I want a right-handed Whopper. Like, it was, anyways, that's how easy it can get, right? So good for them. This one's pretty fun. This goes way back to 1810.
Oh, back in the olden days.
I think that's how they talk. So what happened was, in London, a chimney sweep goes to the house of Mrs. Tottenham. Like, wow. Hey, I'm your chimney sweep. Here to sweep. She didn't call one, so she sent him away. Then a merchant came to the door, some dignitaries, a baker, a butcher, some brewers, wig maker, upholsterer, a gardener, a delivery for furniture, for a piano, for a pipe organ. Doctors came, lawyers came, the governor of England came, and everyone was like, what is happening, right? And it was literally because one guy said in a bet, I can make any house the most popular spot in London. And somehow he got all of these people to go to this house that day. So that house went viral that day in 1810.
Viral in 1810.
And he just sat in the house across the street and just watched the whole day. That's respect. I like that. That was well thought out. I don't know how you do that.
They didn't have a lot of things to do back then.
I guess.
Had a lot of time on their hands.
The pipe organ one was great. There was a supercomputer that played chess in the 18th century. And basically, it was a big machine and it could beat anybody. And people said, oh my God. So they'd go to see it. And then the masters, the chess masters of the world would come to play against this machine and they'd lose every time, right? Well, that's what happened. This machine was like a big thing. And I can't really see the visual of it, but someone was inside of it, like a guy inside of it controlling it. But this started in 1720. They didn't figure it out for 50 years. This thing toured all of Europe and people came to see the amazing chess machine. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And then 50 years later, they're like, oh wow, they got it.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's what I mean. So I think that idea, and maybe is it just because lying is fun? Is that all what it comes down to? Lying is fun.
I don't. I mean, well, and all those stories, like whoever pulled off the lie or whatever had something to gain out of it. So it's just is it about the lying or is it about like the ability to manipulate people to get them to do what you want them to do or think what you want them to think? I think that's like the big thing.
Sure. Because the truth is kind of boring and regular, and then lie is like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's I told a little white lie and people got excited. Maybe I should do that on like a greater scale.
But the guy with the computer, I mean the guy with the people coming to the house, he won the bet. Like that was his goal.
Yeah.
I'm sure the machine that traveled, they made money or something off of that.
So much money.
The Burger King, they had how many people show up and get Whoppers?
50,000.
So it's just like it's a means to an end. So people are trying to like get something out of it.
I got you. Well, I have a favorite one. I don't know if you have at the time thought of a favorite.
Is it the Will Smith slap?
In other news, when was this? Somewhere in the 19th century, this guy McGregor was a rich guy, bored, went from England to South America because that was like kind of the big thing, right? He landed a spot in Honduras. Some dude that was his friend decided, hey, you're my friend. Why don't you just take these 8 million acres right here? And he said, okay, I'll take it, sure. So he has 8 million acres. He doesn't know what to do with it. So what he did was he went back to England and he invented a country called Poyais. He established a territory, made a national flag, got British papers to deal bond prices for Poyais, and then outside the offices in Edinburgh, Glasgow, and London, he and his representatives handed out brochures about Poyais, sang songs about Poyais, and he wrote a book about it. And then he sold it off for like a plot of land in today's money was like $2 million. And he sold the whole territory, took the money, and left.
Why did he have to do that?
Because he was bored. He literally was that. He was so rich. I think he bought like his command in the Navy or something. Like he didn't want to work for it, so his parents just bought him. He's an official now. But yeah, he went over there, and then I have all this land. I don't know what to do with it. I'll just tell everyone it's a country. And then he's that bored. I mean, they don't got internet. They don't got Subway footlong cookies or nothing to enjoy yourself. So he's got to figure out something to do. So in his free time, he just made it so detailed. If you look at the newspaper clippings, it's just like legit. And the people were handing him money. It's like, cool, you can go to this country. And then people would go and there's nothing there. Or rather, there's land there. But he said it's like all developed and perfect. And it was just jungle. Yeah. And that's my favorite one. Because, yeah, this man went out of his way to make a whole country up. I can respect that.
That's interesting.
Also, just for fun, if anyone, I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but if you figure it out, this website also has an article that says how to create a hoax. So if you really want to get into it for yourself, But here's the catch though. You have to subscribe to their little newspaper. It costs 99 cents a month. So you got to pay the cost to make a hoax.
There's always a catch. Is the hoax site a hoax?
Is that ironic? I don't know. But that's it. So let us know in the comments if you have a favorite hoax or lie. Do you lie all the time? Are you a habitual liar? Do you do it for entertainment? Have you been fooled by anything you've seen to the point where it altered the course of your life? I'd love to hear that story.
Altered the course of history.
There's probably some, like that. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this video so that we can keep doing what we do our own fun way. If you lie on a job application, you won't get the job unless you do, and then good for you. But if they find out that you lied, they will either take your job or they'll make you the president of the company. One of the two. But they'll probably take your job.
They probably took your jobs. What they're gonna do? You're gonna get fired. Oh, hoaxes are bad. Okay.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs. Take our